Man, looks like we got some. Looks like we got some rap cap today, man. We got a little rap cap going on now. Obviously, I'm late on the news. Of course, I'm black. I'm gonna be late on everything. It's only natural. It's in my blood. How could I be on time, right? But if you live under a rock, Steve Nash was fired yesterday, 2 days ago, or no, whenever this video is coming out. Steve Nash was fired a couple days ago. We're just gonna say that. His team started off 2-6. They just lost again to the Bulls the other day. After they had got a win against the Pacers, Steve Nash was relieved of his duties, and this is something we been saw for tuition. We knew this was coming. Steve Nash, just like Frank Vogel in LA, has been made the scapegoat for the so far disappointing results in this Nets era with KD and Kyrie. And to be honest, I rock Steve Nash as a player. I think he's one of the greatest of all time. I don't know why he got the coaching job to begin with. I don't know why he was actually considered a spot. I mean, he had never coached in his life. So you get a coaching opportunity. You never coached in your life, and you get a coaching opportunity to coach KD and Kyrie. Like, that's pressure. But then I quickly remembered that the reason why he got this opportunity was because KD and Kyrie both wanted him. Now, you may ask, why did KD and Kyrie want Steve Nash out of all the coaches you could have had? Out of all the coaches that was available, why did they want Steve Nash as their coach? For one, as I stated already, Steve Nash has no coaching experience. Everybody knows Steve Nash is your easy get along guy. He wasn't a leader like a Kobe or a Jordan or all the other aggressive alpha males. He was just like your cool guy, cool dude. All his teammates that he played with have nothing bad to say about him. He has some really good teams in Phoenix, but they couldn't get over the hump of getting to the finals because they couldn't play lick of defense. They know how to run a pick and roll, but they didn't know how to defend it, right? So, those teams in Phoenix didn't really work out like that. And he gets a coaching opportunity because KD and Kyrie need somebody that they can run over. They need somebody that they can just like, yo, you here, but you're not really here, if you know what I mean. Kyrie was coming off a situation in Boston where he tried the leadership role and it didn't really work out. Kevin Durant's coming off the feud he had with Steve Nash and Draymond. We know Kevin Durant doesn't really want to fit in that leadership role either. So, they come together and they're just like, no, we want this guy because we can run over him. He has a great basketball mind, but, this really our squad, right? I mean, you can even hear Kyrie. He went on KD podcast and basically said, we don't need a coach, right? We don't need a coach. And like I said a bunch of time on the podcast, the reason why the Nets are in the position that they're in is because of the superstars' arrogance. You come into the situation to talk about how you don't need a coach, yet you're wondering why you went home in the first round last year. The reason why you went home in the first round last year, you got swept, is because you got out-coached and out-schemed. Right? 4 games. You were clearly out-coached. You brought nothing offensively. The Nets are a walking globetrotter team. It's an ISO on top of ISO. Is it your turn? Is it my turn? Oh, I'm finna drop 30. Oh, no. Are you going to drop 30 tonight? Okay, cool. On top of that, their role players provide them nothing. I mean, the only time their role players get to shine is when the shot clock is late in the shot clock and somebody just has to put up a shot. Like, they're not really getting looks like that. We already know about Ben Simmons. We're not even going to mention him today. But all of this all all this is gonna go on Kevin Durant. Number one, they're gonna look at you and say, you left Golden State to come to this? Like, you left Golden State and you're not even getting to the conference finals? So they're going to look at him stupid. They're also going to look at him stupid because everything that's going on in Brooklyn, he co-signed and he allowed. Everything that's going on. When they made the trade for James Harden, he co-signed it. When they didn't want to trade Kyrie, he told them, don't trade Kyrie. You wanted Steve Nash there. So this whole situation, and people love to go on this stuff talking about, oh man, Kyrie didn't get vaccinated and it really messed Kevin Durant up. Oh man, Kyrie is just really draining Kevin Durant. At some point, we have to look back and say, okay, it can't be that bad if LeBron, number one, if LeBron went with this man, it can't be that bad. Number two, we look at Kevin Durant as one of the best players on the planet. Some people say he's the best player in the league. I don't. But if we look at him as to be one of the best in the league, we have to say he has to overcome that in order for this team to be great. See, what we can't do is we can't give, because I guarantee you, if everything was going real good for the Nets, they'll be looking at Kevin Durant like he's a genius. But because everything is not going well, oh, it's Kyrie. Oh, it's Steve Nash. Oh, it's Joe. No. Kevin Durant is the one who put all this together, so he needs to be looked at crazy, just like every other superstar will be looked at crazy if they was in this situation. And I'm getting tired of people making Kyrie a scapegoat, making Steve Nash a scapegoat. At one point, we have to look at Kevin Durant in some way. Like, we just can't act like he's not there. Like, we have to acknowledge that Kevin Durant is 3-4 years into this and he hasn't gotten them to the conference finals yet. Okay, whatever. He was an inch away from sending them to the conference finals. Okay, cool. That's fine. But you can't get swept the next year. I don't care who's on the squad. In the first round, you can't get swept. Can't get swept. You got the best two players. Every time they play, they by far have the best two players on the team as far as a individual aspect. You will not find a better duo in the NBA individually than KD and Kyrie. So you're stepping out on the court for 82 games with the best two players in the NBA. There's no way you should be sitting right now at 2-6 or whatever the record is when this video comes out, or getting swept in the first round. I don't care who else is on the squad. There's no way that should be happening. Now, obviously, Durant tried to chicken out, tried to ask for a trade, didn't go down. Listen, what I think was happening is, I think Joe sat down with this man, that's the owner, by the way, and said, look, Steve Nash is out here. He's done so. He's going to be gone regardless. But I can't make it look like I just got down on my knees and just let you have your will when you came out. Obviously, everybody knows Kevin Durant came out and said that the only way he will come back is if Steve Nash and the GM was fired. So he's like, yo, I can't let the media and everybody else think that I just bow down to you. Let's play a couple games into the season, and then I'll let him go. So now we have Kevin Durant. This is his reaction to Steve Nash being fired. So let me just play this clip real quick.
In your mind, well, first off, I guess, when did you find out about Steve? How were you informed?
About
1:15.
Why am I not getting sound? Hold on. Why am I not getting sound?
In your mind, well, first off, I guess, when did you find out about Steve?
Bro, what is going on? Hold up.
How were you informed?
That mug was you.
About 1:15.
Yes.
Okay,
When did
okay.
you mind?
Here we go. All right. Well,
Well, first off, I guess, when did you find out about Steve? How were you informed?
About 1:15, I woke up from my nap and turned to the right and seen it on ESPN.
okay, brother. All right. That's cap number one. What he said? He said he woke up from a nap and saw it on ESPN. Bro, let's keep it a being like Kobe. You knew this was finna go down. You knew this was finna go down. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all be talking about LeBron be capping his raps. Come on now. You telling me Kevin Durant, the best player on the team, the franchise player, finds out that his coach is going to be fired by ESPN? Bro, I guarantee you Kevin Durant don't even got ESPN download on his phone. Then he give an exact time like he just got like the memory is just that vivid. Something around like 1:15. Like, bro, stop the cap, bro. You did not wake up from no nap at 1:15 and saw a notification just like your regular like, oh, Steve Nash is fired. Like, bro, stop it, bro.
And what were your, initial reaction? Everybody knows what went on this summer, but what was your first thought when you saw that?
All shocked. I mean, you
Cap! Cap. Bro said, man, I was shook. Ain't this the same dude who all last summer was requesting to be traded? Double down on it? Then said that the only way I will come back is if Steve Nash and the GM is fired? Now that the coach actually got fired, you're talking about, man, I'm just in shock. Really? Do these NBA players think that we're like imbeciles or something? Like, what be going through their minds? There's no way that he thinks that we're going to believe this malarkey. Like, please cut the malarkey. First of all, you didn't wake up at 1 o'clock, turned over your bed, looked onto your phone like, oh, my coach just got fired. Oh, my goodness. I'm in shock. Okay, buddy. Yeah. This man probably knew 2 weeks minimum in advance what was going to happen. You not shook, and you got what you wanted. How can you be shook? You got what you wanted. You said the only reason I will stay is if you fire the GM and the coach. The coach is gone. Now you talking about, yeah, man, I'm in shook. Like, cut the malarkey, bro. Nobody's buying that. Like, oh my goodness. Like I said, I don't know what these NBA players think who we are. Like, bro, we're not buying that. The fact of the matter is, as Steve Nash was not the savior of this team, neither is he to blame for the net struggles. The personnel surrounded around this team is horrific. You have two guys. You have your best player doesn't want to be a leader. One guy is half in, half out. Well, really two guys. Both of them is half in, half out. Your third best player, who we don't even know he's the third best player on your team, but on paper he's supposed to be, but he's playing like Kent Bazemore right now. He's playing like a fifth year bench warmer. So this team constructed is horrendous. Now I heard a lot of people say obviously probably what's gonna happen is they're gonna hire Ime Udoka. And everybody's talking like he's like Jesus Christ. They're like, oh man, Ime Udoka, he's gonna come in and he's gonna instill the importance of playing defense and he's gonna get these guys to buy in and bro, okay, let's calm down. Like, they talk about Ime Udoka like he's Greg Popovich now. Bro had one good year in Boston with Brad Stevens' team. And y'all over here talking about like he's supposed to be the savior, the messiah or something. Like, bro, cut this blasphemy out. Is Ime Udoka a good coach? Yes, I do believe that he can coach. Did he play a big role in scheming and defending Kevin Durant last year and getting Boston to play really good defense? I believe so too. But the reason why he was able to do that was because of the personnel. Boston is loaded defensively. They have long wing defenders that can guard pretty much any position. Brooklyn doesn't have that. what people are expecting, I already know it's gonna happen. It's just gonna be a repeat. Emmanuel's gonna get hired. They're gonna expect Ime Doka to make they're gonna expect him to make a gourmet meal, some gumbo or something with from scratch with just like regular soup and chicken noodles. They're expecting him to make gumbo with chicken noodles. That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's just gonna be a recycle of what's already happened in Brooklyn. They're gonna expect too much of Ime Doka, and once it doesn't happen, he's gonna get the blame, and nobody's gonna look at KD. Because you know what? KD gets the pass. Nobody looks at KD when things go wrong. It's always, oh, it was Kyrie. Oh, it was Steve Nash. Oh, it was because they traded all them players for James Harden. What about KD though? KD still been there. KD actually wanted the James Harden trade. KD actually wanted to go to Brooklyn. KD wanted to play with Kyrie. KD wanted Steve Nash. So when are we gonna look at him? We just gonna act like he ain't really play a part of it though. Like he's just kind of there. Bet we gonna do that? Okay, cool. Heck yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Whatever. But yeah, Brooklyn. I don't expect Brooklyn to have a good year this year. They're actually worse than I thought. And I don't know if this problem is fixable. And you know, I do think they'll end up trading if they have the opportunity. I think they'll trade Kyrie. If not, he's just gonna leave in free agency. Durant signed his extension for what I don't know, but he's stuck there. So that's that. But I'm tired of talking about Brooklyn. Anyways, moving on. We gotta talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, after the Cleveland Cavaliers made the trade for Donovan Mitchell, I said they'd be a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, I might have been right about the top 5, but I was wrong about top 5 in the East. They're top 2 in the East, if you ask me. The Cleveland Cavaliers are easily a top 2 team in the East, and if you had a legit argument for them being number 1, I wouldn't really disagree with you. First of all, the way that Cleveland has built their team post the LeBron era is magnificent. Through draft picks, trades, free agent signings, like they've just really done a good job. I actually don't know who's a GM over there, but whoever it is, hey, give him a raise. Somebody. I don't know who. Well, he probably gonna give himself a raise. He probably gonna do his own contract. But the Cleveland Cavaliers are easily a top 2 team. I already said coming to the year they'd be better than Brooklyn. They'd be better than Miami. They'd be better than Atlanta. Like I already had them up there, but I didn't think they'd be this good. Number 1, they can stretch the floor. Like they're the number 1 3-point shooting team in the league. I was watching the game against New York. A dude named Dean Wade, the white guy, hit like 8 threes. He had like 22 points. I'm like, who is this guy? He looked like Chandler Parsons, except he was actually good. Then on top of that, Donovan Mitchell has been averaging over 30. Karis LeVert could be the number 1 option. I mean, he pretty much was the number 1 option in Indiana. He was that guy in Brooklyn too. He dropped 41 with Donovan Mitchell against the Boston Celtics last week. We know he can score and he plays defense. See, the thing about Cleveland, pretty much everybody on their team can score 15 or more and play defense. You look at their starting lineup. Darius Garland, who I think is a young talent in this league. Probably my favorite ball handler or the best ball handler under 25 in that group. I don't know who's all in that group, but John Morant. But Darius Garland is probably one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player, under 25. He's just so special to me. But you have him. He can score with the best of them. He's pretty much a pure scorer, and he plays defense. Donovan Mitchell, we know what he brings to the table. At the 3, you got Karis LeVert. Can score with the best of them and can play defense. 4, you got Evan Mobley, who makes his name off defense and is getting better offensively. Woo, I think they should really try to get involved more, because if he can have a nice offensive game, like, he could really elevate them to a crazy level. But you have him at the 4 with Jared Allen at the 5. 20 points per game last year, made the All-Star, and first team on defense. One of the best shot blockers in the league. And we're not even talking about their bench. You got Kevin Love coming off the bench. You got dudes like when Ricky Rubio comes back, dudes like Dean Wade. Who else they got? They got some more guys I can't think of right now. But Cleveland is a team that is just so deep. They can come at you at a barrage of ways, and like I said, they defend, and they're deep. They can defend well, and they can shoot the 3 well. I'm trying to see who else they have on their bench. Yeah, they got Kevin Love, Zeddy Osman, even Robert Lopez coming up. I mean, they don't have too much coming off the bench, but it's the 3-point shooting with Dean Wade and Kevin Love that's vital. And Zeddy Osman, he's pretty good too. He can hit a few open shots here and there. But like I said, defensively, they could be at a championship level. And honestly, I feel like if they can go into a postseason where they don't have to see the Bucks, I think they can get to the finals. I really think that. Now, obviously, I think the Bucks are still a better team. Excuse me. Just because Giannis is one of those players, like, it don't matter who you got in your squad. As long as he has a squad, it's over. Like, there's just nothing you can do. Plus, even though they're good defensively, I don't think that they have anybody that can deal with Giannis. Because you're not going to stop Giannis. You just need somebody that can deal with them. I don't think they have that. But what they do have, they're kind of built like Boston in a way, with having all these long defenders outside of their backcourt. Everybody else is a long wing defender that can get in the passing lane, get a hand in somebody's face, and that can push the pace offensively as well. Now, what's really been interesting to me is, I know Garland just played his second game. He missed the first game. He got hurt in the first game with an eye injury. He just came back against Boston today, which, by the way, looked back into Darius Garland's form. I mean, 29-12. Like, I'm telling you, Garland is just nice. But it's really been interesting to me, even in that game, I thought that Garland and Spider, that they will be amongst the top duos in the league. And I feel like they will, but these first couple of games, they haven't really been playing as a duo, really. You know, it'd be times where, I mean, they'll start together, but as the game goes on, Garland would come in with one group, then Mitchell was subbing for Garland, and they were kind of interchanged into the fourth quarter. So I don't know. I guess they're still trying to figure out how they're going to manage those two. But I mean, they played the fourth quarter in overtime together against the game in Boston today, in which they closed, and both of them played well. I mean, Garland was pretty much the guy all night. Again, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but what is going to be interesting to me is what is going to be each guy's role in the duo. I think, you know, the luxury that you have is both are combo guards, right? Both can play the 1 and the 2. So it can really vary to a certain extent, because both of them can facilitate and be that pure point guard, but they can also be into that pure scorer shooting guard. Now, I think Garland is more of a pure scorer than Donovan Mitchell, because he has the shooting. But Donovan Mitchell has the explosiveness. And, you know, Garland is more smooth type. He's the I'm deep in my bag type of guy with all the bags of tricks. Mitchell is more of a I'm going to blow by you, might elevate over you, hit a couple jumpers in your face too, you know. But I think what ended up happening is Garland will eventually just go into as far as like when they play together, right? Because I think when one is off and one is on the court, they're pretty much both the point guard or running the offense of both teams. But I think down the stretch when they play together, I think Garland will just go into the one spot and let Donovan Mitchell do his thing, because we saw in the game against Boston today, you know, even though it went into overtime, Mitchell was basically about to close the game. I mean, he was taking the last couple of shots, and Garland just kind of got in where he fit in. It was basically setting him up. But like I said, the good thing about that is that both of them are combo guards. They can both the positions in whatever role guys they have. It will vary, but as long as you're a team that plays defense and can knock down the three, you will always find success in the league today. But yeah, Cleveland, man, like I said, if they don't have to see Milwaukee in the playoffs, if they can find a way to avoid Milwaukee, I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I do believe that they're the second best team in the NBA right now as we speak. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for today, man. There's a lot of good stuff going on in the NBA. It's real good so far. I thought it was something else I was supposed to talk about, but I guess not. But yeah, man, I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace out for sure.